Hi guys, welcome back to Artsy Fartsy Friday Part 2. I have to give a special shout out to this week to my girl, Violet Hauer. I saw a picture of Violet and she was all set up with her watercolor paints and her paper and she was ready to make something beautiful. Violet, good for you. Great job. Keep working at it and you're going to get it. Guys, sometimes these things I'm going to teach you may be new to you and they may seem difficult, but I promise you, with practice, you're going to get it down for sure. So the day that you're probably watching this is Friday. This Friday is a really special Friday for those of us who love Jesus and follow him with our lives. This Friday is Good Friday, and it's the Friday that we remember that Jesus died on the cross for us. And then 3 days later, we will celebrate Easter, which is when we celebrate that he rose from the grave. You guys, I got to tell you, everything about me revolves around these 3 days. The death, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus is everything to me. It makes me who I am. And I hope that that's the same for you too. I hope that you are learning and growing in your faith in Christ. What I want you to know about Good Friday, and this is going to lead us into the art lesson that we're about to do. Good Friday is the day when Jesus died. Jesus lived his entire life doing everything that he could for other people, to love them and to prove to them that he really is Lord. So guys, I want you to think about this. Remember how last week we learned about watercoloring and making some of our own paper? Wouldn't it be great if in order to prepare for Easter, you took some of those watercolor skills that you had and you turned them into cards for your neighbors? Here's a watercolor that I did last week. And you see what I've done with it? I took a pen and I just did a little bit of artwork around some of the circles. And this is an example of a note that you could put in your neighbor's mailbox just to tell them that you love them and remind them that Jesus cares about them too. So I know usually for Easter, we hide Easter eggs, but this year I want it to be your job to hide notes for people that you love. That way we can share the love of Christ with other people. Now, I personally got a very special note last week and I want to show it to you. Can you see this? My good friend, Lucy Doyle, painted this for me. And she said that this is me dressed up like Bob Ross doing a painting. And I thought this was so funny and it was so sweet that she thought of me. So guys, your neighbors are going to feel the same way when you make something to put in their mailboxes. So why don't you go ahead and do that and remember how much God loves you. And I'm excited for you to celebrate Easter at home with your family this week. All right, guys, this week we are going to make stuffed animals out of socks. So here's what you need. You need some socks. They don't have to be new. They can be mismatched and they can be adult sizes or they can be kid sizes, but you definitely need some socks. You need a hot glue gun and some glue and some parental supervision. You need rubber bands or you need string. Now, these are things that are optional, but I think they're a lot of fun. I'm going to be using buttons, various sizes and shapes, googly eyes. I've got some rickrack over here, but if you have fabric or something else that you'd like to use, that's fine too. I've got some felt in different colors. I've got a really sharp pair of scissors, and this is important. Parental supervision needed. So, how do you know if your scissors are sharp enough? You hear that whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. That's how you know they're sharp enough. And you need Polyfill. And that's it. These are some examples of the stuffed animals that I made with socks. Actually, my daughter made this one. This is a dog. You see, it's got its ears, it's got a tail and back. Here's a wacko rabbit, one eye, buck teeth. This is another stuffed animal right here. I don't know what it is, but we made this one. And then my personal favorite, the rockin' socktopus. Now, there's all kinds of different things that you can make, but I'm going to show you the basic way to make one right now. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do, see this elastic that's around the top of this sock? We're going to take this off, but don't throw it away because we're going to do something with it. So, go ahead and start getting your polyfill, and it's going to take lots of handfuls of this to fill up this sock. Not hard at all. So I'm packing it in there pretty tight. And it's going to take you more handfuls than it will me because I have gargantuan hands. So I'm going to fill it up pretty solid until I get to about this spot right here on my sock. So probably one more decent handful. Oh, I forgot to tell you. We're going to take this last bunch out that I just put in. Remember this piece that I told you to cut off? We're going to come back to the sock and we're going to wind this around twice, just like you would with a ponytail holder. If you don't know how to do that, get your mom or dad to help you. And we're going to push that down. So this is going to be the body of our stuffed animal. Now go back to that part that we took out. We're going to put it back in. Now you can see where that's going to be the head. So this time we're going to take a rubber band, and you could also tie this part off if you had ribbon or string or something. It doesn't have to be a rubber band, but a rubber band is pretty easy. So we're going to wind this around a few times. Get mom or dad to help you with this, or an older brother or sister. Okay. So right here, we have the basic body if we were going to make some kind of animal, okay? So this part up here is either going to be ears, or you can turn it down like this and make a hat out of it. You see the difference there? Now for this one, we're going to go ahead and make a bunny because those are pretty easy. It's a good place to start. Okay, let me grab the one that I have. So you see with this bunny that I made, if you straighten these pieces out, that's what they look like. So the shapes that you cut don't have to be perfect. So in order to get them to stand up, I'm going to cut this a little bit shorter. So hold on to this because we can use this in something else that we make, okay? So here's the top part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a V right here. In fact, let me get a pen and show you. Okay, so what I'm going to do, it's hard to see, but I'm going to make a V. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. And it's almost better if it's not because it's a little funnier. So now I'm going to use my scissors. I'm going to cut along the V. Ow! Just kidding. Okay. Okay, so I took that out. So those are my ears, and they seem a little heavy, so I'm going to cut the top off just a little bit. All right, you see those bunny ears right there? All right, now we get to add stuff to it. So we've got the ears ready, and this is the basic body. So I took some felt, and I cut it out into an oval. So this is going to be the belly of the bunny. And I'm just going to cut a little bit around the edges because I think that that's cute. And you can do that too, but you don't have to. You can do it your own way. You don't even have to do a rabbit if you don't want to. You could make this into a puppy. Or a manatee. Or your husband. Okay, so we're going to take some glue. I'm going to put it on the back here. You want a decent amount so that it stays down. I'm just going to eyeball it, and I'm going to press it down. Be careful not to put your fingers in the hot glue because, guys, it hurts, okay? So just be careful. Okay, so that's glued down there pretty tight. Now, if for some reason this would get pulled off, all you have to do is put more hot glue on it and stick it right back down. Okay, so that's the chest. Now, I had some of this rickrack, but you can use ribbon, string. Okay, that's probably about it. And come up here around the top, and it's just going to hide the rubber band. And you don't have to use anything if you don't want to. I'm going to put that on. In a double knot. I wrapped it around twice. So I have a good tight knot there. I'm going to take my scissors. You can cut this as long or as short as you want to. Okay, so now I'm going to take my hot glue. 2 spots for 2 eyes. So there's one. And there's another one. Okay, so we need a nose. So I used a button. Now I'm going to take some of this felt and I'm going to cut some teeth for a rabbit. Or if you wanted to, you can just put it like that and make a Colonel Sanders buddy. See? Finger looking good. All right. So I'm just going to cut it like this into a rectangle. And then I'm going to cut it not all the way down the middle to the top. See, just like that. I'm going to put glue at the top. And let's see, what else do I want for my bunny? I'm going to put some buttons on it. A green one, yellow one, and a red one. So there you have a really basic bunny. So the other thing that you can do is you can make people. So here we have someone with a little French beret and some orange hair and a paint palette and a paintbrush. So let's put this together so that we can figure out who this is. So right there, we need an eyeball. And we need another eyeball. Glue everywhere. And how about a nose? That's a button. A mouth? Any ideas who that might be? Let's see. Let's see if we can figure it out. Any idea who that is? So I'll give you a final hint about who this could be. When somebody asks you this week, what did you do on Friday? You can look at them and you can say, I arted. See you next week, guys.